councillors and officials. My time is 9 o'clock now. Can I perhaps have an indication? Can I have an indication of my committee members, whether they have logged in already? Can I have an indication of Councillor Kwinana?
Chair, the corner.
Councillor Matiwane present. Councillor Nlezu. Councillor Strubels.
Good morning, everybody. Chairperson, I'm here.
Thank you very much, Councillor Strubels. Councillor Nlezu, Councillor Kwinana.
Councillor Kwinana present.
Thank you, Councillor Kwinana. Councillor Nlezu. Thank you very much, colleagues. Good morning, everyone, once again. Colleagues, I'm not going to waste time. I think we do have a quorum. And to start with our meeting, I don't really want us to waste time, colleagues. Let me just take this opportunity and welcome all councillors, members of my committee, officials, as well as members of the public. And I'm sure I saw there is a link for this meeting. I'm sure people have already logged in. Let me also welcome them this morning. Colleagues, I'm not going to waste time. Can I just quickly have an indication? Is Director Adonis present?
Chairperson, I am.
Director Adonis, can you please introduce your staff members so that we can start with our meeting?
Chairperson, I don't see Lindile yet. I just he will join us soon. He had a doctor's appointment earlier this morning. I think Jolie's in the meeting, so we can proceed.
Thank you very much, councillors. Once again, 2.1 members present. I think at this perhaps stage we've got all committee members are present except Councillor Nlezu. I'm sure he's struggling to connect. I'm sure as soon as he connects, he will perhaps indicate to the meeting. 2.2 members absent without leave. At this stage, once again, from the committee members is Councillor Nlezu, which has not connected yet. Let's go straight to 2.3. Members absent without leave. At this stage, nobody is absent without leave. 2.4 other councillors present. I can see Councillor Chokolo, Councillor Lorraine, and other councillors, colleagues, present to this meeting. 2.5 official present. My director have already indicated from his department officials which are currently present, and I also saw Mr. Carl Matthijs present. And I think I must also indicate that I received a call from the MM. He is going to join us late. He is busy sorting some other official stuff. Let's go to 2.6 members of the audit committee present. Can I have an indication? Members of the audit committee? Sure. Okay, none. Colleagues, I just received an apology. In fact, it's not an apology. Councillor Nlezu is present, but is still struggling to connect. 2.7 members of the public present, and as I've indicated earlier on, colleagues, that I saw the link for YouTube, and I assume that members have already connected. Noting of the provision of code of conduct for councillors and declaration of interest. Can I have an indication? Is any councillor would want to declare?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
khona ngingenile
Councillor
manje
Ngqezu.
ngisaqala ukungena.
No, thank you very much, Councillor Ngqezu. Welcome.
Okay.
Colleagues, point number 3, noting of provision of code of conduct for councillors and declaration of interest. Does anybody who want to declare any interest on this agenda? Silence means consent. There's none. Point number 4, presentation. Director, do you have any presentation? Director?
Chairperson, no, there's no presentations.
Okay. Thank you very much. I see the Councillor Matika. Councillor Matika.
Oh, Chair, just wanted to indicate that. Morning, Chair, just wanted to indicate I'm present.
Oh, Councillor Matika, thank you very much. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you very much, councillors. Point number 5, the confirmation of minutes. Councillors, I think my committee members allow me to apologize in advance that in between I will be called to another meeting to just go and clarify some certain things. And I am going to ask one of my committee members to take over so that we don't adjourn the meeting. I just wanted to apologize in advance, and to that particular effect, And thank you very much, colleagues. 5.1, the minutes of previous meeting, 10 September, page 4. Colleagues were dealing with the confirmation of minutes, starting from page 4 to page 4, colleagues. Can we perhaps shoot just a confirmation of minutes, colleagues? The correction, we are dealing with the correctness of the minutes now. Councillor Skosana.
Thanks, Chair. I just want to divert to something. Do we have a translator in this meeting?
Thank you very much, Councillor Skosana. Councillor Skosana, to that effect, I did ask yesterday for colleagues to organize our caretaker translator, Mr. Sidwell. I have not get any indication to that effect,
Yes, I'm around, Deputy Mayor.
Thank you very much, Tamzu. Thank you very much. Yeah, colleagues, thank you very much, Tamzu, once again. Colleagues, let's go straight to the minutes.
Let's move, Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Councillor Kwinana. The 5.2, colleagues, the 15th of September 2020 is on page 10, and our recommendation is on page 4, Councillors?
Agree, Chair.
Thank you very much, Councillor Kunana. Yeah. Thank you very much, colleagues. We are moving now. Let's go straight to point number 7, matters submitted by acting municipal manager. Sorry, before that, can we deal with an execution list? Do we have anything which we think as councillors was not perhaps addressed on the execution list? And it's on page 15. I see the hand of Director Twanes. Director Twanes, can you shoot?
Chairperson, thank you. You can see on page 15, item C, is that the policy and the strategic plan be workshop with all staff. We plan that we will do that before the end of this month. And then on page 16, Chairperson, there's also the issue around the placement process, item D there, page 16. That is a process that the administration will handle in the placement committee. So that is ongoing, that process.
Thank you very much, Director Twanes. Colleagues?
Chairperson,
Yes, Director.
just to go back to page 15, item B, that there is an item on the agenda with regards to that.
Thank you very much, Director. Colleagues, committee members, if there's nothing, colleagues, we are going to move, straight to the matter submitted by Acting Municipal Manager at, I think, 7.1, the monthly update or the monthly report, August 2020, the status of NISDA housing capital projects for the period of 2018-2019 financial year and 2019-2020. The floor is open, colleagues. And our recommendation, colleagues, if there's nothing, okay, Councillor Levale, Councillor Ngezu.
Yes, Chair, good morning. Morning, everybody. I just want to ask on this particular document on page 19 at the bottom, point 9, Smutsville, Sizamele, it says 2 of the 4 development areas have received planning tribunal approval. I just want to ask if that's correct, because I'm not sure. I think all 4 have by this stage, but maybe I'm wrong. But if maybe I can get clarity on that. Thank you, Chair.
Noted. Thank you very much, Councillor Levale. Councillor Nazu.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everybody. My chair is simple. I want to know more about the Kolweni issue 41, double stores, houses. Can someone explain me for that? And then the white location project in Bloemfontein. There's a complaint that I received a long time ago. Now I want to know that complaints attended. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Councillor Ngezu. I'm sure my director and your team, we are taking notes of the question. Councillor Skosana.
Thanks, Chair. Chair, greetings to everyone. Chair, I've got 1, 2, 3, maybe 15 questions. Let me start, Chair, by saying, hope there are people who are taking notes. One, Chair, in your report or in your agenda, there's nothing speaking. I've raised this several times, and people will interpret me as a rude person, that the issue of Damsabos Road is not reflecting in each agenda, last month's agenda, and even this agenda does not reflect. And in Damsabos North, there are slabs that have been busy been casted. That doesn't reflect in your agenda. And also, I need to understand in those slabs that who did that list of those slabs? Because people are coming to me now every day complaining. The people who have been approved long time have been denied opportunity to get slabs. Thirdly, Chair, in OPAT, there is no report here talking about OPAT slabs, Chair. Fourthly, Chair, in the last meeting, we were told verbally that the issue of the 12 duplexes is been sorted in Hlalani. It must reflect in your agenda. It's not here. Even the fencing of Hlalani TRX is not here. Fourthly, Chair, emergency kit, it must reflect in our agendas that are we going to still buy emergency kit or not? Because we speak with this official, it's telling you another story. Speak with this official in your same department, it's telling you another story. And it just came from a water disaster where people are looking for emergency kit. Even now, as we speak in my ward, the director is dealing with that issue of fire. A bungalow burned out in my ward. We'll be needing emergency kit in that respective. But that family will need a place to sleep tonight. The slippery soil, Chair, we were there, all of us. I've been asking this, that it must reflect in your agenda. It's not here. The issue of the small contractors, we understand that issue was sorted between the municipality and the lawyers of the contractors, and the contractors were supposed to start on the 1st of October. We are on the 15th today, Chair. People, I can't pick up their phones, want to know what's happening in that process. The houses are continuing being vandalized within the ward, Chair. Chair, this is not justice. We move, Chair, even Chair in Bongani. I didn't see that Matutuan is here. I'm worried of Matuka slabs. She's been there, people behind her are receiving slabs. She break down long time ago. Chair, in page this planning and services, Chair, of yours in Renendal, Ward 5. If you page from page 20, I would say it's 2 pages before 24 years. Renendal, 12 temporary toilets were provided to recently invaded areas. 10 chemical toilets will be provided to the recent invaders areas. Check if there are toilets, let us also be provided. And this information is saying that we are encouraging invaders to receive material. Remember, this is a white paper. Even the people who invade now in Horn, if they can receive this information, then we must give them toilets as well. This is information in front of us. But we've always been told by the department there's no toilets. Let me stop there for now, Chair.
No, thank you very much, Councillor Kusana. Councillor Vale, is that an old hand or is it the new? Is it the follow-up?
Chair, it's a new hand. It's a different issue, but
Okay.
I think if you want to speak or Councillor, okay, I see the Councillor put down his hand. No, it's basically to concur with Councillor Kusana, Chair, that it's difficult now to ask the questions that we want to ask because you recall in the last meetings that we used to have a couple of months ago, we had like a whole report on everything, like retaining walls, all those type of issues that are relevant to us in our wards, because it's difficult for us now to ask questions on this particular report. But I want to concur with that to find out perhaps by your officials, have they got the planks already? Have they got any material? Because we have people waiting for housing kits in my ward as well. So those type of issues, and maybe, Chair, just to look at the report like that, like we look at the past reports and maybe just add that type of report in as well so that we can see. And then also, what is happening with our retaining walls? What is happening with our ramps? Because we've gave lists in the beginning of the year already. So I just wanted to ask that. Thank you, Chair.
No, thank you very much, Councillor Vale. Councillor Strubel, do you want to come in?
Chairperson, yes, thank you very much. Let me just go back to the agenda now, because I'm using a lot of gadgets. But in any case, Chairperson, yes, thank you very much. So through you to the director, first and foremost, I'd just like to thank the director. I see on page 20, on page 20, we're reading down with the bulk services thing. I think for 2 consecutive 80s, I went on about the obstacle or the impediment, which was the wording that upset me when it comes to the bulk services issue with Renendal. So I see that they have changed slightly. However, I know that bulk services is still obviously an issue here in Renendal. But my question on page 20 basically is just the following. It reads that provision of bulk services remain outstanding in this area together with some will be subjected to a bulk infrastructural feasibility study, which awaits funding application from the Western Cape Department of Housing of Human Settlements. So my question basically today is then to find out were there never bulk infrastructural feasibility studies done? Because according to my knowledge, I thought that there was, or if not completed, there was a process of that feasibility studies for the Renendal bulk services infrastructure. But now, if I read this correct, it says that we await funding for this feasibility studies now either to be commenced or to be completed. Then I also would like to allude to what the Councillor Skosana have asked, because this is a question that I've wanted to ask later on. I can also remember in previous Section 80 meetings, I've also asked about this report, because this report hasn't changed. I just want to get to the page, I think 22. Yeah, it is 22, 23. I can't find it now, but it's about those toilets. In Renendal, I know that I've got chemical toilets. I've got 8 informal areas in Renendal, which is almost equal to a Renendal or to a Kieruk. And I do have blue chemical toilets, etc. But I'm just what is for me, what is a little bit confusing is the fact that I see this total number of toilets, which was previously also reported, which for me now looks like a duplication all the time when we report to the Section 80 meetings, which will then bring frustration as to what Councillor Skosana has alluded to. So I want the administration or the department to explain that to me as well, because next month it will be or whenever if this is in a Section 80 again, it can be confusing, because if people in my ward is now maybe if they've read this agenda, then they will also be confused. Councillor, where did you put this 12 temporary toilets, and where was this extra 10 chemical toilets? So what I want to say is that this has been ongoing since I've been in council. This was reported. So I just want the administration to explain on that, please. Thank you very much, Chairperson.
Thank you very much, councillors. Councillors, I think what is important here, and I understand, I'm taking note of what councillors, the concern which councillors are raising. I think what is fundamentally important, councillors, I think if you've got a question, raise your question. Let's raise all the questions here. I strongly believe that the administration or the management of housing will definitely deal with the questions. Director Adonis, can I just hand over to you and your team to deal with the questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson. Let me deal with the question of Councillor Davis first with regards to the approval, the planning tribunal approvals. The report is correct. I've just confirmed with the secretary of the tribunal. So that is correct. There's only 2 areas, and the other 2 is still outstanding. With regards to the issue that Councillor Davis has raised raised with regards to the retaining walls and the housing kits, there is in this financial year there is a budget available on our budget for the rectification, retaining walls, etc., etc. However, we remember the council had a adjustment budget workshop at one point, which council indicated that they will do the adjustment budget after the statements have been formalized or finalized. And we, from the housing section, went through our original budget, and we found that in the original budget that the housing budget omitted a lot of stuff that is critical. And we anticipated that we would be able to go to the adjustment budget to deal with those issues. And that's the reason why we didn't start it with our processes with regards to the retaining walls, etc., etc. But there is a portion of, there is budgetary provisions for that. Let me get to my report. With regards to the Councillor Nezo's question in relation to Colweny 41 double-story units. Myself and the chairperson had now 5 meetings already with the and Councillor Nezu with the community of Colweny, and we informed the community that we actually introduced the small contractors also, or the contractors also, to the community. Just to Suma deal with Councillor Skosana question with regards to the small contractors, the anticipate in terms of the settlement agreement with the small contractors, we were supposed to be on site from the 1st of October. However, the issue around the payment of these contractors was the only issue that prohibited these people from going on site, because they had to pay their laborers. Now, all of those processes we finalized in the past 2 weeks. All contractors has been paid last week. The last one was paid on Monday this week. So we were informed that the contractors will be on site today in Damsapos to start with the rectification. The issue around the Colweny double stories, I had a meeting yesterday with the Colweny committee, and the issue there is the provision of material. So as soon as we can sort that out, the contractors will also go on site with the Colweny. The frustration for the community and the committee is that this process came so long. You can see that it started in 2018, 2019 already, and we were supposed to complete that. But due to contractual issues, the contracts of these contractors that has lapsed, that in terms of the time period, actually there was some sort of a challenge with regards to that. But I'm confident that we will be able to pull that off and to start with that project before the end of this year. We will be able to deliver some of that units. Councillor Nezu, in terms of your Bloemfontein complaint, I would like you to elaborate a little bit on the complaint so that I can respond in terms of that. Let me go to Councillor Skosana's issues. Let me start with the 12 duplexes in Thalani. You can recall we reported in our last meeting that issue has been resolved. However, we went through the whole process of BAC. We went through the process of the municipal manager signed off on a deviation with regards to that project. And the day or when we informed the contractor that everything has been sorted, then the contractor withdrew his tender to build that houses. I then set up a meeting with him because I thought that I had to speak to him. And in that meeting, he indicated that due to other claims that he that we declined, he withdrew his tender to build that houses. However, I convinced him that he should proceed, and he then agreed. We then have to, in terms of the general conditions of contract, we then have to issue a variation order, which the municipal manager issued last week. We informed the contractor about that he's appointed in terms of the variation order under the GCC. So the last correspondence on Monday, the contractor indicated that he wants to go on site. We requested a works program. So once we receive the works program, we will communicate it to the ward councillor and the Thalani committee. So within the next week or two, the contractor will be on site to start with the Thalani issue. In terms of the slippery soil, I reported last meeting in our last section 80 that the issue around the slippery soil is the issue around the geotech report, which we need to have in our adjustment budget funding, so that we can issue that report in terms of the slippery soil in order for us to respond, because it's have a huge budgetary implication. In terms of the emergency kits, as I indicated, there is budget on our budget to procure the emergency kits. In terms of the duplexes I've dealt with. In terms of the Damsabos Road, the Damsabos Road is currently underway in terms of the building of that road. We, at this point in time, in this agenda, we've put in an item with regards to the business plan from the province, and we will have a discussion, because under that agenda item, we will inform the committee that the province has cut back on our grant, and national cut back on their grant, and that has an impact in terms of our business plan and our funding. So with this, there's a portion of that road that we anticipate that we will not be able to do, but I think it's 40 meters in this financial year. But that road is as we speak under construction. The list, who drafted the list for the slabs in Damsabos? Councillor, I don't have that answer for you at this point in time, but I will get that answer before the end of the meeting, hopefully. In terms of the OPAT slabs, we also, in our settlement agreement with the small contractors, we indicated that we will include in that agreement 40 slabs. However, those slabs will only be constructed within our new financial year, the provincial financial year, which started which going to start in April. So in terms of that, we will only be able to start with the slabs in that. I think I've dealt with most of the issues at this point in time. And Councillor Strubel, you questioned with regards to the application. We've submitted with each and every application for any human settlements project. We have to get at least the recommendation, or also the input from our technical services in terms of bulk infrastructure, and there is a portion of the grant allocation that we can allocate for these feasible studies. So the moment when the application are approved, we can access that funds from the province. However, I must inform you that the province at this point in time is considering those, the Karatra and the Renendal applications. So I think I've dealt with most of the issues, Chairperson.
Yeah, thanks, Director. Director, I think there was one question which was not attended, a question of, I think, page 24, with regard to 12 temporary toilets in Renendal. Councillor was saying that this is it's a duplication. This report was reported in previous section 80, and as well as this report is still here. If we can just address, just clarify that if it's an error, so that all of us we can be on the same page, you know. And yes, I'm not sure whether I must allow, I see Councillor Ngezu, Councillor Skusana. Yeah, let me give Councillor Ngezu to clarify his question so that he can get a direct answer. You know, after Councillor Ngezu, then I'll give Councillor Skusana.
Okay, Mr. Chair, thanks. Mr. Chair, yeah, Mr. Director didn't give me because he said he don't know exactly what I'm talking about. In Bloemfontein, Mr. Chair, I think it's not the first time. I think the manager knows about this thing. There's a complaint in, I think, 5 houses in that area. They're in bad condition. I was there and then I give the report I complained to manager. I think manager knows about these complaints. And then in section 8, last section 8, I come up with this thing. I say again, I didn't see that they are rectifying those mistakes in that houses, because those houses, they are in bad condition. And then I think manager can explain. Thanks.
Thank you, Tastera. Thank you, Councillor Skusana.
Thanks, Chair. There's one question in the first round which Mr. Atonis didn't attend to, which is the issue of Matutu in Bongani. Also, the reason I raised the issue of OPAD, I need to understand how many slabs are there presently? How many slabs did we cast now presently? I hear him about the new contractors and the 40 slabs in the new financial year. I need to understand how many slabs have we casted presently there, because there's no report in front of us. Thirdly, Chair, let me move to my second round questions, is that there was a tender out of chemical toilets, Chair. How far is that process now? Because people are looking for these toilets. 2, Chair, I was promised in several meetings that 50 slabs will be casted in this year in Tamsapo South. How far is that process? Thirdly, Chair, we have a Vision 202, 459 units. We've been asking, and I think Matika was championing that. Normally, we break down our visions into per ward. Can that happen in our next meeting next month, that these 459 be broken down per ward? Thirdly, Chair, I need to understand, Chair, how is the department dealing with these major contractors who does not pay small contractors? Because at the end of the day, even tomorrow, I'm having a meeting with the small contractors in my ward. How are we dealing with these issues? Because we are giving these big contractors, Jobuko and others, huge money as the municipality. And at the end of the day, they are saying to the small contractors, it's the municipality that does not pay them. That's the reason they don't pay the small contractors. What is in place to deal with that? And thirdly, sir, are we going to build top structures in this year, or are we going to wait for the budget of the province on March next year? We need to be honest with each other here in this meeting so that we convey the same message to the people. Thirdly, Chair, the Mandela House issue, which yourself and Dr. Vatala and Mr. Chuel were championing in OPAT. How far is that process? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Skusana. Welcome, Manager Petula, into the meeting. Councillor Director Twanis, can I hand over to you and your team? Thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson. I just saw Lindile joined us, Petula. Let me deal with the payment of contractors first. Chairperson, the issue around the payment of contractors is a challenging issue, because when I came into this directorate 3 months ago, I noticed that some of the contractors are submitting a payment certificate. Then 48 hours or a week after that payment certificate are being paid. Now, in municipality where there is, can I speak, Speaker? Chairperson? Can I proceed?
Yes, proceed, Director, proceed.
Now, in a municipality which are under tremendous financial distress, it's important for accounting officers to protect the cash flow of the municipality. And I send out correspondence to all the contractors that we will implement the contractual arrangement under which contractors were appointed and were granted a tender, that we will pay them within the 28 days as prescribed by the general conditions of contract. Now, for a long time, the contractors used the municipality as their bank. And I think that we cannot, that is CIDB grading 8 and 9, and their financial situation should be of such that they can carry a contract like this. So to these contractors must, they appoint these subcontractors or laborers, and it's a employer-employee relationship. And they cannot hold the municipality at ransom and put pressure on councillors and communities and threaten that they will go or stop the work if the contractors don't comply with their payment arrangement with the employees. And I think if that is the case, if people submit to me that type of complaints, I can take it up with the contractor because that's a breach of contract. So I communicated it yesterday. Buko phoned me to request early payments, and I'm of the view that we must stick to our contractual obligations with these contractors. In terms of the chemical toilets, let me just give you a background with regards to chemical toilets. My understanding was that during the beginning of the COVID, the senior management resolved that we should supply chemical toilets to informal areas across Knysna. We then entered into an agreement or appointment process with a service provider that supplied us 150 toilets. However, the need was more than 150. At this point in time, the number of chemical toilets within the Greater Knysna is 400 chemical toilets, which cost us in the order of 200,000 to 300,000 rand per month. And I'm also indicated that we should also deal with the expenses and the budget in our adjustment budget to be able to make provision for chemical toilets. So we have 400 chemical toilets in the Greater Knysna, which is now divided into various wards, and any additional toilets will result in additional budget that we need to deal with in our adjustment budget. The issue around vision, if you look, Chairperson, on the report 21 till page 24, is it 21 till 24, yes? The layout of our deliverables is per project. There is set out per project, and that includes the vision project. But I understand that the Councillor Skosana would like to have a further breakdown of the 50 units with regards to vision. So I will ask Lindile to come in and cover issues that, and also Councillor Nezo's issue with regards to Bloemfontein. Lindile.
All right, thank you, Davi. Just to deal with Bloemfontein issue, it's an issue that we dealt with in the last meeting. It was reported by the councillor that there were those houses, and the process then that took place was that we sent an official with the councillor to look at those houses so that the councillor can show us the units that needed to be fixed. We then communicated with the project management team to say they needed to fix that. The indication now that we have from the project management team was that all that was required to be fixed on those houses has been fixed at this point in time. It is therefore surprising that the councillor at this point in time is still saying that they have not been fixed. However, to deal with the situation, we'll have to set up a session with the ward councillor, and I will make sure that the project management team is there. I will be there myself. Mr. Wali will be there to go to those units where the councillor has got complaints. The one thing that I need to say when it comes to some of the houses where there are complaints, because I have had to talk to some of the complainants myself, and I have found out that some of the complainants have actually drilled on the walls. And as such, because of the drilling that took place on the walls, that has resulted in some cracks that you would find then on the walls themselves. And when we went out there for education, beneficiary education, we made sure that we informed the beneficiaries not to drill anything on the walls, because the moment they drill, then we might have a problem with cracks that would appear on the walls because of their activities. We will then go back again with the ward councillor, and we'll make sure that we set up that session so that we can deal with this matter once and for all. I think then there was an issue of the Matutu slab, which was supposed to be casted in Ward 7. That is an issue that is still supposed to take place. The contractor is on site, and we have given that instruction that one of the slabs that must be casted is that one of the Matutu. We're just waiting for that now to happen at this point in time. In OPAT, there are 10 slabs that have been casted at this point in time. And then what we have done in terms of the question that Councillor Skosana was asking on the breakdown of the vision project, if you look at the table that has been attached as part and parcel of the item itself on page 21, you will see that the project itself, if you look at vision, you will see that it has been subdivided as such. If you look, for example, at Vision 459, you will see that in Damsebos, there are 50 slabs there. You will see all the areas have been subdivided as such to make sure that we deal with delivery per ward. And so that's what we've done. So I still want to understand exactly the requirement that Councillor Skosana has got in respect of that one, so that we can then implement that. Thank you, Chairperson.
No, thank you very much, Manager. Councillor Matiga.
Chair, I want to do a follow-up. Thank you, Chair. Chair, I just want to check, Chairman. Sorry, man, on page 19. Yeah, I'm not sure if I read correctly in terms of number 5, Tembi. It says that in terms of the original as well as the revised business plan, 50 top structures will be constructed. To this end, the contractor is already on site as August 2019 with various activities. 62 slabs have been casted in this area. So I just want to check, because I want to check in terms of top structures. What is this saying regarding the issue of top structures? Was there no top structures that have started to be built? Thank you very much.
Thanks, Councillor Matika. Councillor Skosana. Then after we are going to go to the recommendation.
Thank you, Chair. I think, Matika, I've read my mind, Chair. I've asked this question that the department must be honest with us. Are we going to have top structures now, or are we going to wait for the budget of the province to have top structures? That need to be answered today. And secondly, Chair, I've raised the question of the Mandela House, which you were involved in OPAT. How far is that process? Thirdly, Chair, I've raised the issue of Damsabo South 50 slabs, which by now is supposed to have been started in terms of casting. How is that? How far is that process? That one has not been answered. And Chair, I must say it again, this issue of Matutu has been coming and we've been receiving the same response. And Unyagia Pela, Chairperson. And we know that cooking with this contractor scenario. We need to be honest with that family, but we must have specifics now. Thank you, Chair.
No, thank you, Councillor Skosana. Councillor Skosana, before no, I think that's fine. Councillor Matika, is that the old end?
All end, sorry, all end.
Thank you. Thank you. Director, Manager, can you please attend to those questions, follow-up questions by Councillor Skosana?
Chairperson, let me deal with the issue around the financial year and the funding with regards to provincial funding. You must remember, this municipality is an implementation agent on behalf of the province. So we can only do work to the extent that we received funding. So on the next item, we will deal with the funding challenges and the funding spending, etc., etc. But if the building of the top structures is not part of the funding business plan, then we must wait with top structures till the new provincial financial year, and depending on if we can get a DORA allocation in the adjustment budget, we can make provision in our budget cycle for that. But if we don't get a DORA before that, then we must wait then for our financial year budget. So the funding and the business plan and the allocation and what we can do is depending on the provision of funding from the province. So I will ask Lindile just to deal with the operational processes with regards to the building of houses vis-a-vis the casting of slabs.
Manager.
Thank you, Chairperson. All right. The question that has been asked by Councillor Matika, in terms of the resolution that we have with province, you'll remember that we submit an application to province for a number of units to be built in a certain area. Now, in terms of that resolution, the resolution says that there are 50 beneficiaries in Etembeni, and there is then a resolution to fund the 50 top structures which must be built in Etembeni. That is a statement of fact that remains. Now, how we deal with that is then something else, because then we've got to look at the land availability in terms of that, because the application which was submitted was in terms of the number of beneficiaries that are there. And that statement is affirming exactly what we have applied for and how we then deal with additional land in order to deal with the excess families or excess beneficiaries that are there, because people are now sitting with approvals for houses that must be built. The other thing that is critical is that in construction of a house, a slab is part and parcel of that construction. In actual fact, it's the start of that construction. Therefore, where we have started with the slabs, because what we are really dealing with there is that there is a contractor on site which is dealing with the slabs themselves, and we will then later on deal with the superstructure after the slabs have been finalized. The business plan has, in fact, affirmed this. If you looked at the business plan for 2020-2021, you would see that there were 50 units which were planned in terms of that area. Whether or not those 50 superstructures are going to be built in this financial year is something else. I can tell you now that there won't be 50 top structures that will be built in that area at this point in time. And that is because of operational issues that we had to deal with and litigation that was there in council, which has then delayed the construction of the superstructure in that area. Therefore, in terms of the program now currently, there will not be superstructures or top structures built in that area in this financial year ending end of March 2021. The program is such that the construction of top structures in Etembeni and other areas where there are slabs will only begin at the beginning of April 2021. That is the affirmative answer that we have at this point in time. And the Mandela House issue, I think it's an issue that is also dependent on the sponsors that have sponsored to say that they will build those houses there. We are then dependent on them. And then in OPAT, the promise still remains in respect of that Mandela House, which still needs to be built there. We only have to follow up to make sure that the Mandela House is built. Then Councillor Skosana spoke about the 50 slabs in Damsabo South. And those are the slabs that are part and parcel of the current contract with the service provider that is in the area, which is Buko at this point in time. We are dealing with that contract in terms of a geographical area by geographical area. At this point in time, we have not said that program will not be completed or implemented in its finality. So we are still in the implementation of that contract itself at this point in time. Thank you, Chairperson.
Yeah, thank you very much. I see the hand of Prajo.
Hello, Mr. Chair. Just to confirm in the affirmative that the sponsor of the Mandela House in OPAT has confirmed that they will commence as of Monday. They should complete it by end of this month. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mkhulwande Bulela man. And I'm sure, Mr. Joel, with the postman one, how far is it?
Postman, Mr. Chair, the postman Mandela House, the sponsor has now confirmed in the affirmative that they have already started with the quotations after we had done the accessway for them to access that area. They should be starting anytime, but we will monitor and sort of revert to you as well as Councillor Ngezu. But they have confirmed, because even the Public Protector Office has, has exerted a bit of pressure on that one. And we have liaised with the sponsor, and the sponsor has indicated in the affirmative that they will also commence with that one. Thank you.
No, thank you very much. Matika, Councillor Skosana, is this an old end? I
No,
see your...
No, it's not an old one, Chair. Chair, I must say, can you talk? Thank you to Joel. We'll wait for Monday. I was recording it now. Thank you for that, because I was getting worried of the answer that I was listening. Chair. Chair, kukwinto i-officials zakho fuke ziyazi ukuthi uba sizi-politicians kaloku sizoya emgqubeni bengekho bona pha. Siyokhankasa pha kuthiwe nangala maxoko othengwa noongciki basichithisa indlu apha. Ngoku iphilundi sizokholelwa njani? Ngoku ndiyabulela ke ngale mpendulo esinikwe nguBhujoel ukuthi uba lo mvulo azamjonga ke ngomvulo mna ndizoya ngolwesibini phaa esayitini ndiyojonga kwenzeka ntoni, ndibuyele ke kwakhona apha entlanganisweni. Chair, kukho isimanga esenzekileyo ehlalani kule weekend, izilebs zidadiye emanzini. Andanoba i-department ke ime phi ngala mcimbi, bayibonile laa nto. kodwa ke mandithi oko-chair also ukuthi uba kulaa kona inendlu emnyama ibithatha emanzini wayetshile ubhuti uPetuni ukuthi uba asizokwazi ukwakha phaa. Leya indawo ke wayecacise lubala kwabahlali basehlala sime phaa esigangeni bamcaphukelela inyani. UThixo umphendulele ke apha ezimvulweni ewe bekubuhlungu kodwa ke impendulo uyifumene enokubonakalisa ukuthi uba wayetshile ukuthi uba sinokwakha kulaa kona kodwa ke ezinye ikona ke saqhubekeka ke through ireport yakaSintech. Now ke ngoku ithini into nge-department because andiboni sikwazi ukokha izindlu phaa phantsi kwento ebiyenzeke nge-weekend okanye ndiyongcali izindlu ke mna. Ithini into ngokubheka phambili because ndifuna siqhubekeke kuqala before abantu babe phambi kwethu sibe proactive. Ithini nge-department plan yayo?
Tamzu, can you translate, before I allow colleagues to respond?
Okay, firstly, the councillor thank the answer from Director Housing or from Joel. He thanked him and told him that he is thankful of the answer and that he has recorded. So he'll be waiting for the house to start on Monday and that he'll be visiting the site on Tuesday. Then he mentioned the other point about slab that is in water in a hole in Salani, and that he is also grateful of the answer that he has got, and that the slab or the area where the slab is, it was explained to the people of Salani that that area or in that area that there is no slab that will be able to be in that area. So he is also asking as to what the department will be doing, maybe to be able to build in that area. And he's also putting the fact forward that he is not well conversant as to which areas are to be able to be built in. Thank you so much. Thank you, Chairperson.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Sidwell. Prajo, I see. Can you perhaps attend to the questions, comments there?
Sorry, I lost you a bit. I had a bit of a problem. Can you summarize again?
Chair.
Hello, Mr. Chair, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
I had a technical problem. Can you summarize what are the key issues that we asked just now?
Okay, I'm sure I don't want to. Pracho, can we while we are going to summarize, Manigu Lindi leho?
All right, Chairperson, I think the issue is that of stormwater management system. We will have to have mitigation measures to deal with the stormwater management system in Salani. We will do an inspection of the area and see what can be done. But there are engineering solutions that can be done to deal with reverting stormwater so that it does not flood the slabs that are already casted in the area. So that is a stormwater management issue, and we will address it with the engineers. Thank you.
Thank you, Manager. Colleagues, if there are no other questions, comments.
Chair, I think I've raised my hand, Chair. Sorry.
Okay, come. Should open.
Thanks, Chair. You know, I'm getting worried, but when I was checking this agenda, almost these items they relate to one another. So I don't know, must I raise my issue now or must I wait for the next item? But I wanted to go into, because what Mr. Petuna was answering, he was talking about the revised amount, which are the 7.2 items. So I don't know, must I answer now or must I wait for 7.2? Chair, I'm not sure if I must wait for 7.2, but if I check these items, almost they speak almost the same issue.
Yeah, no, Matika, you can raise it now. If you are saying that they are related, raise it, so that when we get to 7.2, we deal with other issues.
Yes, thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I hear the answer of Mr. Petuna, and which I'm not satisfied with it. I'm really not happy with it, because it looks like if when he talks about the new financial year for April, so Mr. Petuna is saying that for this financial year, there is no money for Etembeni, there is no money for Happy Valley. Is that what he's trying to say? Because if I go again and look for this revised business plan for 2020 to 2021, and still I don't see any amount that is allocated for Happy Valley. There's no money allocated for Etembeni for building of top structures. So that's why I'm saying that I don't know, Chair. I don't know really, is it this issue on purpose or what? Because if you go to the revised budget and you check it there was an amount allocated for Etembeni, there was an amount allocated for Happy Valley. If you check the revised, the previous budget, 6.5 million was allocated, 5.8 million was allocated, but now it's 0. There's nothing next to it. That shows that there is allocation. While you go to any other areas, there's an increase. So are they saying that they took that money and then revised it and then go and put it at Kolweni? Are they trying to say that? If that's what they're trying to say, that then we're going to have a problem. They cannot go and explain to my people that no, your houses will be built maybe after April. That's not going to happen. I'm not going to go and explain them. They must go and explain to those people, because they keep on saying to them when we had engagements with those people, no, we're just waiting for this dispute with the contractors. As soon as the contractors finish, you'll the material will come and then we'll start building. But now it seems if things have changed. And then those communities will be furious, because they are saying that white location, in all corners in white location, Bloemfontein, Kolweni, in all corners, people are building there. You see, the municipality is building. But for them in Etembeni and Happy Valley, they've been sitting in bungalows since 2014, 2015. And then Kolweni, there was nothing happening. Now Kolweni, they just sit on the bungalows, maybe 2017, 2016. Their houses are finished. So must more people go and toy so that then their houses will be built? I'm not satisfied with the answer. Really, I'm not satisfied, because we were told here. No, and then we had a meeting there. House officials were there, all of them. They said that as soon as this issue is being sorted with the contractor, last month, I even requested a meeting with officials so that we can go, because those people are panicking. We were there. We said that by 1st of September, I even asked, they never said no. By 3rd of September, it's Happy Valley. So I'm not happy. I cannot go and explain to Happy Valley now it's going to be April now. So I want to know what happened to this financial year, man, because now we're trying to talk about the next financial year, man. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Councillor Matika. Director Twinners, can I hand over to you?
Chairperson, let me. Are we now on 7.2, or are we going to go to the recommendations as 7.1 and finalize
Director,
that?
Director, seeing the fact that Matika was saying that these issues are related, I just felt let him raise his concern. But I think let's rather go straight to the recommendation, which is on page 20. Committee members, so that we can move to 7.2. Committee members, the recommendation is on page 20.
It's noted. We can move, Chairperson.
We can move. Thank you very much, committee members. Our next item is on page 28. 7.2 submission of the revised business plan received from the Department of Human Settlement. Director, do you want to comment?
Yeah, Chairperson. Let me, and I think this is this item is critical in the expectations of the councillors and with regards to the contractual obligations of the ministry that is currently underway. Now the original business plan approval on page 28. That was as a matter of fact, the original 3-year MTRF allocation for this financial year that we are in 2020-2021 was originally, I think, 82 million rand. Then the province reduced that to 56 million rand due to budget cuts. Now you must remember that we've planned and we've allocated contracts based on our previous year's proposed allocation. When province cut us back, we sat with a problem with regards to already contractual contracts that is already underway. So we then requested province on page 29 to look at our contractual obligations vis-a-vis the grant allocations. And province then revised on page 29 top that from 56 to 59. But that 59, the 3 million rand, was for a provincial project which is run by province directly in White Location. So then we went to province and say, listen here, in terms of our contractual obligations, we're going to be in trouble if you don't honor our contractual obligations. The graph on the bottom of page 29 indicated to us that we are 20 million rand, actually 34 million rand short with regards to our contractual obligation. So that put council in a very high financial risk with regards to our contractual obligations. We had a meeting with province 2 weeks ago, where province indicated that we must inform them what is feasible in this financial year, because it will not assist province and ourselves if we just put in the amounts, but we cannot deliver within their financial year, and that will result in a loss of funding in this financial year. So what we inform council on page 30 is that province committed that they will assist us in honoring our contractual obligations. However, any new project that we want to engage upon, we should rather do from the 1st of April in their new financial year. And that is why the building of top structures, based on the fact that we had this court case against us, that challenged the department to go and have a relook at what is feasible in this financial year and what is not. And we, based on the cutback of funding, and we came up with an agreement with province that we rather start in the new provincial financial year with the top structures, so that we can protect our contractual obligations as council with regards to this financial year. So that is the short and the long of this. And there is unpopular decisions that we need to make on the background of our contractual overcommitments and the cutback of province. But we are in it together, and I understand from where Councillor Kosana and where Councillor Matika is coming from in terms of the realistic deliverables in the area, but we need to take cognizance that the province has cut us back, and we were informed that they will cut us more back in the next financial year. So that is just a brief overview of the report in front of us, and that is also based on our current appointments and contractual obligations, and based on our capacity, because these contracts are going to start now. They have to fix that 54 to 60 houses that was vandalized. That will keep them busy till January. And you can understand that any new project that we're going to start with the building of their houses will not be able to be completed in this financial year, number one, due to timeframes, and number two, due to funding availability. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you, Director. Prajo.
Mr. Chair. What item? Are we now on the next item?
Yes, 7.2. 7.2.
Yeah. Yes, I think the director has covered 7.2 sufficiently. You know, that's it's got an impact. I mean, province is revising the budget because of the reasons that the director has actually mentioned. We have contractual obligations, and that budget has to be in tandem with the contractual obligations we have. We've had meetings with them, and they have agreed to, in principle, look into that. And shortly, we feel optimistic that they should send us a revised budget that talks to their contractual obligations. Thank you.
Thank you, Manager Matika.
Look, thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I'm not covered. I hear what the director is saying, but still I'm not covered. I'm saying that, Chair, on the previous budget, on the previous funding, at Happy Valley was allocated 6.5 million. At Tembin was allocated 5.8 million. On the revised budget, it's nothing. So are you saying that we don't have budget? Our budget has been took, because if you go to Ekolweni, Kolweni was allocated 6.5 million. Now it's 16 million. If you go to Honley, they were allocated 6.5 million. Now it's 14 million. So it doesn't make sense, because if we are saying that in the revised and all those stuff, those amounts should have stayed the same. But now they have increased those amounts. So when you increase in other projects, so which means you are taking from other projects. So I'm saying that a 10 billion Happy Valley amount has been taken so that you can cover only, so that you can cover Ekolweni, but while only and Ekolweni came after a 10 billion. Etemben have started in 2014, 2015. And then the project that came after it are going to be finished while Etemben are still waiting for phase 2. It's incorrect. How do you explain that to a community? How do you explain to them? You started to build Etemben in 2015, 2014, 2017, and you said that they must move to TRAs. At Kolweni, there was nothing happening. In Honi, there was nothing happening. But only 1, 2, 3 people have received house. There is a budget allocation. Ekolweni, your contractors will start in 2 weeks' time or a week. They'll go and finish the other side, phase 2. But how will you explain to people of Tembe, no, the revised budget is because of contractual applications, we're not going to carry on. We're going to go and finish Ekolweni with those upstairs. Then by next year, April, we're going to come back to you with the revised budget, then you will start building. You can never explain that to our people, because if you check Ekolweni, you check Tembe, they're not far from each other. They're not far, because you are putting now councillors under the buses. It's like, what is happening now? Because that place has just been built. But recently, 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to speak about Bloemfontein and others, but what location I'm saying about Ekolweni was here. It says that Kolweni will revise 16 million. previous funding was 6.5 million. If it was the same amount, because now I will understand. But now we are taking our money from other projects so that we can go and cover other projects. It's incorrect. It's going to create a problem. While we said to our people, and even in the meeting that we had, the officials know. The officials in Happy Valley, they were part of Happy Valley and the Tembe. They know. As soon as the project, as we said to them, as soon as the team of the contractor is sorted, the bricks will come in. We'll start building. So I'm not gonna accept that, Chair. I don't want to lie. I'm not gonna accept that. And these officials must come and go and explain to those people. Because it's not like we are lying to our people. Because those people who say that, but you were here. We've been asking and asking. You told us, no, it's a contractor. But now you're taking us different story. But we go to there, Kolweni, the next phase. The contractors will go and build there. But Happy Valley, we are talking about contract obligation. Kolweni and Happy Valley were in the same issue of the dispute of contractors. They were in the same, but we're going to start there. But there is another one that Coloros is building. Then you are expecting people of a Tembe and a Happy Valley just to sit and say, hey, okay, we'll wait for April. It's wrong, Chair. It's wrong, Chair. Please, the directors, they must sort that issue. Even if they go and build, start building Happy Valley and Tembe, even if they're not going to finish because of all the other stuff, then they'll finish next year. They must do something there. Bricks must go. They must start with brickwork because we promise our people. Now we talk about the revised budget. Sorry, Chair.
No, Matika, thank you very much. Colleagues, I saw the end of Councillor Skusana, but I think my director, my manager, I also want to echo them. Matika is quite correct. It's quite right. We need, I don't know, I mean, perhaps on the level of the province, who's dealing with the revise. You know, when you revise, you must revise holistically. You cannot take from this area and take money and then take it to another project. I mean, it's absolutely, it's not making sense. It's not making even a logical sense to that effect. I must also be concerned because I'm concerned sitting here. Because this thing is going to create a very serious problem. You know, I don't want to repeat what they have said, but I think it's quite right. It's quite right. It's quite correct. The concern which is raising is fundamental and important. It can't be correct for Kolweni. I don't have a problem with people of Kolweni. I mean, those people have also been waiting for houses. But at Tembeni, as well as Happy Valley, those people they were the first to move to the bungalows. How then do we really explain to the people? So I'm not sure whether, as we are the implementing agent, and then from the level of the province, what was their logic in terms of taking money from Tembeni, from taking money from Happy Valley, and take it to Honley for that matter. Of which I don't have a problem, you know, for Honley to be given houses. But then when we deal with this thing, people must try to be fair and square so that we avoid people going to the street unnecessarily. Because I mean, it's not making sense. I'm sitting here and I look on this report, you know, but I'm sure my director, we definitely need to check as to what can be done in terms of dealing with this thing. I saw Joel, I saw Councillor Skosana, so that we can also move. Thank you. Joel, do you want to say something?
Chairperson,
Director?
can I respond?
Yes, Director.
Hello?
Yes, Director, you can.
Chairperson, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, I'm feeling for the plight of councillors but I'm obliged and I'm to advise council that we, in terms of the development methodology implemented by the Human Settlements Department, there was a decision made 3 years ago that the vision project, of which Happy Valley and Etemeni is part of, should be done by a small contractor building methodology. The portion of Kolweni, the Bloemfontein, the white location had another methodology, and that was that contractors and tenders was issued and appointed to do that. So when we hit the problem with our small contractors, it just stopped the development of the Happy Valley, Kolweni, and the vision. And that is our problem here. We're not going to lose any money. The money is just been shifted to another financial cycle. Now, if the council and the councillors are not happy with this, I am comfortable to set up a meeting with you as a chairperson and the portfolio committee with the provincial department, and maybe I will ask the mayor to ask the MEC to deal with this so that we can take it on that level up with the province. But we as officials agreed with the provincial officials that a realistic process, given that the small contractors only came on board in this month, that realistically we will be comfortable that we will be able to deliver the deliverables that we agreed upon. So my recommendation to this committee will be that we set up a meeting with the Provincial Department of Human Settlements to deal with this report and the content of that report and the feasibility and the out and this report in terms of the deliverables. So I understand where Councillor Matika is coming from, but at this point in time, the only institution that can revise this is the Provincial Department of Human Settlement.
Pracho?
It's an all hand, sir. It's an all hand, sorry.
Okay, Skusane?
Thank you, Chair. Through you, Chair, I want to double check with the department. Vision 202. Is Vision 202 still include? Is Vision 202 still include Damsapos South, Damsapos North, OPAT, Nekis East, and Nekis West? That's my question, Chair.
Correct, Chairperson.
Thank you then.
Yeah, Director, before we move to the recommendation, I would really love for you to set up that meeting. You see, so that we can really engage those colleagues on the level of the province, you know? Because when the popo hit the fan, the first people which need to take responsibility and account to the people as councillors, you know? And it was going to be fair with me if then councillors, in particular, the ward councillor was taken into confidence before this thing. And Matika is quite right, because I've been part and parcel of those engagements. Happy Valley, Etembeni, we've made a commitment to our people. But I understand what the director is raising. But we've made a commitment so that, if that was brought in the attention of the councillor, before time, so that we can also prepare those people in terms of telling them exactly the true reflection or what is it that is going to happen moving forward. Because I'm avoiding a situation where people are going to accuse other people for being lying. You see, I'm very much skeptical with that. So hence, I wanted to put it very straight here to say, I would love for you to set that meeting up so that we can really, really engage those colleagues on that level. Thank you very much, colleagues. If there is no other hands, and I will ask us to go straight. Sorry.
Chair, no, I'm fine, Chair.
Yes.
I'm fine. I accepted the answers from the director. I just want to check, Chairman, through you to the director. Director, please, man. The issue of vision, we need to finish with vision. The next financial year, we must finish with vision, director. The vision, since you were there, you remember that time we were still in housing. we're dealing with vision. Vision must be an ending project. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Skosana, is it a new end?
Yes, and I will tend to differ with Councillor Matika, but I think we need to have time so that the director can explain why we have Vision 202. That program has been coming and it's a good program for us to get funding from the province. But I think we need time that we can sit with the director who will explain more into detail why we have Vision 202.
Nice. Thank you very much, colleagues. Committee members, the recommendation is on page 30. Committee members?
Chairperson,
Continue, Chair.
Yeah, Director.
I will send to Jill the recommendation C, and it should read that the administration facilitate a meeting with the Department of
Director, where are you now? Director? Committee members, have we captured that recommendation C from the director?
Chair, can I ask something?
Yes, Councillor Skosana.
But I think okay, what 7? Since the time of the previous councillors, we don't build here.
Hey, we are telling you, Chief.
What the councillor is saying, why are we not building in Ward 7?
No, I'm sure, Councillor, we are going to get a response. Councillors, can we go? Have we noted that third recommendation, C recommendation, so that we can proceed to the next item? Committee members.
Yes, Mr.
Thank you very much. Colleagues, 7.3, the formal submission, consideration of the overall draft integrated human settlement policy part 2. Manager, Director, do you want to quickly bring us up to speed? Joel.
Chairperson, I will ask Joel to be very brief. Please, Joel.
Okay, sir. Thank you. This is a follow-up item to the part 1, volume 1, we submitted early in September. There was a resolution that we prepare the submission we're making today here. So today is really the submission of that. And we are asking council actually to approve the balance of the report. It's congruent, it's in line with the previous resolution because it sort of touches up on the final aspects that we have to go through. And it's there, and the recommendations are there, Mr. Chairman. Any questions on the content of the policy by itself?
Are you done, Director? Mr. Joel Soukabir?
Yes, I'm done, sir. I'm trying to be brief, but councillors might have had time to read it. Yes.
Thank you very much. Councillors, any question, comment? Must we go straight to the recommendation? And our recommendation is on page 36. Any questions, comment? If there are no questions, can we go straight to the recommendations?
Ma'am,
Yes.
I'm in a meeting, and you might have followed the wrong road.
Thank you very much, councillors. Councillors, let's move straight on our next item, 7.4. Sunrun and HDA proposed next interchange and development, conclusion of an implementation protocol. Page 89. Councillor Skosana.
Thanks, Chair. Chair, it speaks to the Greater Nile and to my ward. And we've been coming with this item for quite some time now. It comes and goes. Chair, there are two things that I need to check. On page 89, there's something saying that in the discussion number 3, that the targeted area which was identified on the edges of Negus West during 2018 and confirmed to Sanral, that was supposed to be Sanral, The identified site has unfortunately been since fully invaded, and there is technically no area readily available in the immediate area for such a facility. Is that sentence, first of all, correct, Chair? Before I follow up with others, I've got follow-ups, but let me start with that one for now.
Thank you, Councillor. Director? Sean? Pracho?
Chairperson, let
Yes,
me
sir.
respond to that.
Yes, Director, who's going to go first? Is it Joel or yourself, Director?
I think Lindile will respond to that, Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lindile.
Okay, sorry, Acting Director, since I prepared the item and Lindile says it's better if I field, if you don't mind. That sentence is correct in the affirmative, sir. The sentence is correct in the affirmative. We don't have, the reality is we don't have, an open piece of land in that part of...
Chair. Can Mr. Kungwana stop? Chair.
Councillor Skosana?
Chair, please, your officials must be honest with us here. Which area are we talking about here, which is invaded and is full? And we must go to the letters of Mawetu. Which area is this one? Can the official be clear which area they are talking about here, which is full?
Councillor Skosana, let's allow the director to respond. And if you've got a follow-up question, then you raise your question. I just want to make that the first, colleagues.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you, Director.
Almost. Okay, the portion we had targeted was the one abutting next to Nekis West, which is now currently used by MTO. MTO had planned actually to hand over that area, but there was a decline. Unfortunately, the offer was not taken. Now, because of that, we all know that there's been large-scale invasion in pockets of land in that area. And the area was shown the way the TRA was planned has been invaded. And that's the reason why we had to tell Sanral that we are struggling to identify an alternative spot to use as a TRA when people have been decanted actually alongside the road servitude, near the road servitude. So this is the dilemma we're facing, that council has virtually no appropriate land for a TRA in that area. And I don't know how much more we can, because land invasions have been happening as we speak. And unfortunately, there's virtually no other land to use. The only one that we had identified was the one that's closer to the stadium. We had even made an offer that maybe we could put the TRA there temporarily, but that did not find favor, when we tried to workshop that. So in essence, we don't have land actually to put the TRA. This is the essence of the intent of this item. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Manager Petuna. Councillor Skosana, follow up.
Yes, thanks, Chair. I just hope you have your agenda.
Sorry. I've noted you, Councillor Matika. Okay, Ngaya Skosi.
Thanks, Chair.
Councillor Skosana.
Can I get in so long, Chair?
Yeah, shoot.
Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I was going to suggest that.
Yeah. I'm here.
Chair, I was going to suggest. Okay. Should I wait for Councillor Skosana for sure? Should I carry on?
Yeah, no, I think that Councillor Matika, let's give Councillor Skosana his back.
Chair, I wanted to check what sentence I've read. Number 3, which is Nekis West is local culture, for those who doesn't know. Now we move to page 93. There's a letter between Otwa and Mr. Mawetu, which reads as follow. Number 1, as discussed, the municipality has a temporary relocation site where they are willing to assist Central with the relocation of illegal dwellers, which is that Nekis portion. in and around the area earmarked for the Nekis interchange, which is that circle. It went number 3, the municipality is willing to accommodate 40 families or structures on the TRAs. That area close to head of LA, that area we can drive now. We can drive now. There's a lot of spaces there. We went with HDA there, if you remember, Chair. There's no invading there. We even moved further if you can reach 6.1. We appointed even a CLO. These were part of the things that were put in place. Please, Chair, I'm challenging the department. We can go to that area. There was no invading there. We stopped people not to invade there. The last 2 houses which was just built were built because there was a court case of those white people, so to say white people. Then we needed to relocate them into that site. Through the supply chain processes and through the municipality processes, we built those 2 windy houses by fixed contractor. People will not say that that area is full. It's not full. Thank you, Chair. And we are never invaded.
Yeah, thank you, Councillor Skosana. Councillor Matika and Director.
No, thank you.
Okay, let me give to Councillor Matika quickly.
No, thank you very much, Chair. I was just going to suggest, I think Councillor Skosana has touched on it. I was going to suggest there are 3 areas that we can move people. One, I know in Nekis we are busy with going to fix now these houses, and then there are TRAs that are there in Nekis, if I'm not mistaken. And in Thalani, there are also some TRAs that are there. As soon as houses have been finished being built, we can use those TRAs to move people, as well as the land that the councillor is talking about in head of LA, in Calcor, where there are bungalows, about 3 or 6 bungalows that are there. So we can also use that land, Chair. I just wanted to touch on that in terms of land, if you are saying that there's no land available. Thank you very much.
No, thanks, Councillor Matika. I see the Director at Witness, Pracho. I'm not sure who's going to go first.
Chairperson, can I respond?
Yes, sir.
Chairperson, if you look at the where we want to go with this item, is that you must remember that this is a SANRAL project, and the issue around the people living in that space where SANRAL want to develop is critical, because this is what the discussion is all about. We need to relocate those people. And what we're intending to do is that, given that it is a SANRAL project, that SANRAL has a lot of land that they are in another item on this supplementary agenda, has given to us based on the fact that we need to do the Southern Cape corridor. Now, what we're intending to do from the administrative side is that SANRAL contribute to the project financially in assisting us to facilitate the TRA on their land. Now, let me go to Councillor Skosana is correct that the Nekis land, and unfortunately as an official that needs to advise council, I disagree with Maweto's approach, because that land in Nekis, the land on the Heidelberg side, we are subject to environmental authorization, which we don't have. So if council take a formal decision, the acting municipal manager are exposing this council for environmental contraventions that we cannot advise council to do. So at this point in time, my advice will be that we look into this recommendation, have a discussion with SANRAL, indicate to SANRAL that we relocate these people to the portion of their land and they fund the bill, so that they can proceed with this project. And I think that is what the administration want to advise the committee at this point in time.
Yes, you okay, Director? I've noted you, Director Tuanes. Joel, do you still want to come in?
I wanted to just add one thing. The director is absolutely correct. That's the intent of the item. And Sandra, we had earlier negotiations with them in the item. I do indicate the principle that they are prepared to assist with some of the funding, not the entirety of the funding. They said they would assist with the putting up the planning and the putting up of a TRA using alternative mechanisms. Now, councillors, there's an item which was presented about 8 pilot TRAs that we have applied for from province. Part of that TRA included highlighting one for the Nekis area, that there be a TRA also for the Nekis area, because the people that have invaded Sandra land are a specific number, an estimate of plus minus 80 to 90. Over and above that, in Nekis, in that area, there are other informal settlements, even the area that Councillor Skosana had mentioned, and I'm glad he's mentioned that there was an attempt to further invade it, but it was stopped by the Moss family. That area has a couple of hockeys also in it to indicate, and it's been cleared actually for potential further invasion. Now, we need, as the director said, to negotiate with Sandra because of the fact that the interchange has a limited time. It has to be done because of the spate of accidents that are happening in that interchange, as well as the fact that they had budgeted for it in this current financial year ending in March. That's a statement of fact. Now, they were asking for an expeditious handling of that thing so that they don't have to roll over the funding that they have for the interchange. That was the reason. But I think the acting director is correct. We need to go back and negotiate with them. This item was more or less to advise the council where we are, with this process. I thank you, Mr. Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Prajo. I really appreciate councillors. If there is no other questions, we are just going to move straight to the recommendation, which is on page 90. If there is no, okay, Councillor Skosana.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, if you read page 90, that there's a line which starts by saying that the age
Councillor Skosana, what happened now? Yes.
Yeah, if Chair, you could look at page 90, I was saying that there's a line that starts by the HTA had vainly volunteered to do enumeration in a household located in the road servitude. Chair, I was in that meeting, and I'm still saying it. I'm still remember vividly what I said in that meeting, that in no way, when we have a project of this nature, we just can allow people to come in a ward doing enumerations like sets without our own, because it's going to create expectations. The moment you go to a household and ask for an ID and all that stuff, people will have an idea that you're going to put us maybe in a waiting list for a house or whatsoever. On top of that, we had an agreement with the order. That project, we appointed, in fact, we appointed a CLO who's still waiting today to do his work. Chair. Now, by virtue of that, we need to have people who are gonna work. That CLO is still alive. We must work with these people to do these enumerations if we agree upon the item. Also, the former director raised something about saving the land. If this item also includes saving the land, then it must reflect saving the land, because on recommendation A, it reflects Nekis intersection. It was so that tomorrow, even I'm not a councillor, we go to the arcanist of us, look, there is something talking about saving the land. And we must not make any mistake here by thinking that since that open space of saving the land is there, we're gonna first start with these people of close to Nekis and take them up to them. We are saying that the community must fight against each other. Then I won't allow that. Correctly said by the advice that were given by the director, David Atonis, that we need to look for portions of lands of Sanral. There's a lot of land of Sanral around Neisner. It's not only in Neki, it's around Neisner, Greater Neisner. Then we say this is the area, if we need to integrate as well, if there's a portion of Sanral in town, you must integrate, take our people here into town. But something must reflect, which talk to that community, because we'll be having a meeting with that community next week on Thursday. We must have something in black and white saying that these are the efforts that we have done. Here is your name of your area. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Councillor Skosana. Director Dwanes, I see your hand up.
Chairperson, the issue around Sevendalaan will be part of the item 7.5 on our supplementary agenda. In terms of this item, we need to assist and facilitate the interchange now, and the focus area of this project is the people staying around that interchange, that we need to find land and alternative accommodation. But I am agreeing with Councillor Skosana that we need to have community engagements with regards so that the community can understand the underlying and the fundamental of this project. So, and also, if I understand him correct, that we cannot do this project in isolation of other projects. And that is the discussion that we will have with Sanral. So I think that the issue around Sevendalaan will be covered in our Southern Cape Corridor development item that we need to focus on the people staying on the periphery of the interchange there. Thank you.
Thank you, Director. Colleagues, can we go straight to the recommendation at page 90?
Yes, sir.
We agreed?
Yes.
Thank you very much, committee members. I'm not sure whether you want us to take a break of 2 minutes or must we shoot straight to the supplementary? Quick.
Shoot.
Thank you very much, Councillor Ngezu. Let's go straight to our recommendation. Item 7.5, the implementation of Southern Cape Corridor Development, Catholic Project, Business Plan and Financial Modeling. Can I hand over to you, Director Dwanes, take us through, short and sweet.
Chairperson, this project is coming a long way, and for some time we didn't attend to this project. I mean, as I can recall that the minister came here in 2014, 2015, and introduced this project. Now, myself and the acting municipal manager and manager Petuna had a meeting on Friday with representatives from the minister's office, and they indicated to us that because we asked the question pertinently, if this project will yield some additional funding to our housing solutions, and they indicated that this is a presidential project, and by virtue of that, this is funding in addition. So they also indicated that this project will be ran through the district development model, and on the basis of that, they expect the council to at least have a resolution of council that support this project, and that is why we structured our recommendation in such a way that this project should be handled as a catalytic project within Neisner and Peter and George, so that we can access some additional funding to expedite our next phase in our human settlement development. And this is one of the mega projects that the National Department engage upon. And if the risk, if the municipalities don't resolve around the participation of this project, then there's an appetite from national to withdraw to cancel this project. And I think the reason why, and we gave a commitment to Mr. Mbalele and Gakana that we will submit an item to our Section 80, and even the district has also now at the end of the month resolved around this project. So in short, that is our recommendation are there, and once we take it to the MACO and the council, we can inform national that council what council resolution is around that. Thank you, Chairperson.
Director, thank you very much. Councillor Matiwane, Councillor, I only see your hand now. Councillor Matiwane.
Thanks, Chair. Chair, thank you very much. I see the report, I've read the report, but I feel that there's an omission of the places that we visit with you, with the late Freeze. You were part of the visit. Bongani is not part of this. It's supposed to be part in the areas that are identified here. At Damene and Katanga, which we went to.
Councillor Matiwane, where are you now?
My car has a problem and it doesn't want to start tire. Sir?
I'm speaking about the catalytic project, Chair.
Yes, Councillor Matiwane, shoot.
Chair,
Director,
I'm saying in the catalytic project, I see the omission of the areas of my ward which we went to visit, and all the other areas which we form part.
Okay, Director, to honest, I'm sure we have noted what Councillor Matiwane is raising.
I captured what Councillor Matiwane mentioned, and I agree that I think if councillors, I think we should include the areas that Councillor Matiwane, and I also believe that Councillor Skuskana might have also areas that we include all those areas in the content of this as an item, so that we can cover the whole area. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you. Thank you, Director. Any other question, comment? Director, in the absence of the I think that the councillors are quite happy.
I've raised my hand. Half 11.
I don't see your hand. Councillor Skosana, come in.
Thanks. Yeah, 11:30. Chair, yeah, thanks the director, and I think Matiwane have read my mind. But let me start here first. At page 4, there's Cranesfontein, names the Eldrovin, Hedefole, and Cranesfontein. This project Cranesfontein is saying that this project can only take place after 15 years, as MTO has already planted on a portion of land. It's vague. I think that's very worrying when we read it, because honestly, really, they just planted now some few trees, while we have an IDP where we put priorities. You can go to the priority of Ward 3. It's been coming, the issue of Cranesfontein, from the time of the Councillor Koti, 2 terms of Councillor Koti. We've been talking about Cranesfontein. I think someone failed us in that process. Move further, Chair. I hope you have it in front of you. It talks about your ward and Matika's ward. Congodia. It is unknown where this project is going to be implemented. It is unknown. where this project is going to be implemented, as most projects are under implementation. It's a worrying factor. We move, Chair, to various issues are clear in respect of this project. Bullet number 3, Chair, it says that it is not clear where the budget for the purchase of land, since the letter from rejected a submitted application. I think people need to explain into details to us what is happening here. Because you move further, Chair, and I want to be very clear on the recommendation. I'm one person that I think Mr. Attorney said of saving the land in the recommendation, then I will support it. If there's no name talking about saving the land, there's no purpose for me to support the recommendation. It speaks to those areas only. Because we went even to the area which we just spoke about, which is next to Negus West, which need an environmental study. They say they will assist us on that regard. It needs to be part of the recommendation, Chair. And Chair, before we can we move to page 2 with your director? The report is not coming from your department, Chair. It's a worrying factor. The report is coming from my portfolio. I think we need to correct that one as well. Thank you, Chair.
No, thank you, Councillor Skosana. The Director, do you want to respond?
Chairperson, let me respond. I agree with Councillor Skosana to include this. If I capture him correctly, the Sevende land should be included. If I capture Councillor Matiwani correctly, the Bongani, Etebeni, Katanga area should be included. The issue around Neki's West has been included in bullet on page 4, bullet point 1 under the Hede Valley issue. I will, in terms of Concordia, I think the councillor, if I can be, if I'm correct, in terms of Concordia, it's an area at the back of the central portion of Concordia, and we just need to correct that. In terms of the reason why the bullet point 3 are there on page 4 is exactly to protect the existing funding from the Department of Western Cape, because the reason why the Department of the provincial department cautioned municipalities about this project was exactly the reason of top slicing of funding, and we clarified that with the national department with regards to top slicing. So at this point in time, it's a catalytic project, and it's in its infant stage. But the reason for this item is that we have at least the political will and buy-in, and there's a project committee that will deal with the technical issues around this. So I totally agree that we should include the areas that the Councillor Skosana and Matiwani indicated to us. Lindile, do you want to add something?
Manager, before Lindile, Director, I also want to add, man, that's one area which we have also, it's also omitted. Khobololo is also omitted here, you know. I'm sure, Mr. Manager, Lindile, the ball is in your court.
Thank you, Chairperson. Perhaps let me just deal with the report itself in terms of what the projects that were raised here. You would see on the report itself that there was a company which was appointed by HDA to study the area so that they can identify projects that can be implemented as part of the project. Now, all the projects which have been listed here are the projects which were then identified during that process. However, in the engagement that we had with HDA, this is just the start of the process. Should there be a need to add a few number of projects that council feels that should be added as part of the MOU, those projects should be added. In actual fact, we have attached a presentation that HDA have submitted. And in terms of that presentation, it covers the whole geographical area of Knysna and the whole geographical area of Pito municipality. So it would then mean that all projects that are within that area are then covered in terms of that. But what we need to deal with now, in terms of what we've seen on the project itself, is that we've got current projects that we are implementing as a municipality. A project like Ektembeni that we are implementing, and in terms of that project, we are unable to reach the yield that we have planned because of the fact that we've got Sandra land that is on the other side. And we have been having this debate to say, how can we then access that Sandra land so that we can be able to accommodate everyone within Ektembeni? And one of the things that we are saying is that we should, as a municipality, implement that Ektembeni project, and we should be allowed to do so. Sandral should make that land available so that we can proceed with that. Again, when it comes to Sodrefir, we quoted the community of Pelandaba, who have been talking about that, to say that if that land is made available, we can, as a municipality, then submit that application to province so that we can implement that project. So is the project of Ndlovini, that is the same. So all the projects that are implemented by Sandra Land, if Sandra can release those portions of land, we would be able to then implement those in terms of our program and not participate or include those projects in the SCCD, but implement them as part of the municipality. Heidefale is a project that is already, we are busy with that project now at this point in time. We've got approvals and we've got processes that are underway in terms of that. So we don't see why that project then should be included as part of the SCCD project. Then Gracefontein, yes, we've lost an opportunity in terms of Gracefontein, where we did not take up that land parcel when it was made available to us. But that is not an end, because now we can start in terms of our spatial development framework, start planning for that portion of land to say, after 15 years, then that portion of land is then identified for future residential expansion. That's what we are saying in terms of that. Then all Concordia, then land parcels that we are working on, we will continue to work on. Searchfield infill, it's a current project. We are working on that. There are processes on that. So we don't see why it should be included. So is social housing. Where we've got issues, especially of bulk services, is in respect of Rienendal, Karatra, and that Rienendal and Karatra is then would be linked with the identified sites 1 to 7, which HDA has identified. Now, some of the issues that you would then find here, which would need to be addressed at this point in time, whilst the MOU is signed, we would have to make sure that we address those issues, because in terms of the bulk infrastructure provision, the business plan and the financial model which has been submitted at that time estimated that an amount of almost 500 million would be required for the amalgamation of bulk services. So we will need to make sure that that money is there. So someone needs to show us that there is funding provision for that. And that will then assist us for the implementation of the Karatra and the Rienendal project also, so that we can connect in terms of that. At this point in time, we have got no formal indication to say that those funds are applicable, but we need that formal indication in respect of that. Now, HDA would then have to work directly with our infrastructure services so that we can deal with the issue of the bulk infrastructure to make sure that bulk infrastructure has got the ability to cater for this, because this is a major project that will need to make sure that we deal with that bulk infrastructure prior to any development taking place. Now, then we've got a number of land acquisitions which they need to deal with. And of importance to us, and it's something that will need to assist us at this point in time, is that there is a need for an indication that SANRAL is not going to build that national road, that bypass road, because that will assist us in terms of the current projects that we are implementing in Lovini, Sodrefir, as well as Etembeni, so that we can now have proper plans in terms of those areas, in terms of our development, because our housing sector plan is then affected by the fact that we don't know what is going to happen in respect of that. Heidefale should remain being implemented by the municipality as it has been implemented at this point in time, because we've started that process. Now, we do need the indication around the 500 million. The fact that there is a requirement for the municipality to have a resolution around the implementation of this means that we need to have an indication from national government in respect of the amount of money they will invest in this area. At this point in time, there isn't that indication, and we need to have that indication. It cannot be a talk show. We need to see something in writing. Now, further to this, there's 164 million which is required for the purchase of land. Where is that 164 million? Because that 164 million cannot come from our own HSDG funding, which province allocates to us. If that is the case, that is a problem. So we need an indication in respect of those. So all that we are saying is that we support this, but what we need is to make sure that at least there is compliance with some of the conditions that we have. Thank you, Chairperson.
Yeah, thank you, Manager. I see the hand of the mayor and Councillor Skosana, and I'm sure it's a follow-up. And yes, Mr. Mayor, you can shoot.
Thank you very much. Morning, council officials. My apologies, I was in and out of this meeting, so I missed out a lot. So I missed out a lot in discussions of this committee. Just seeing that we are so playing Father Christmas now, just adding a lot of areas. Just add Mr. Duanes and Mr. Petuna only also there in your coast on Father Christmas. Please, Chair, on a more serious note, I just believe that we should read these things very carefully, and I like the way that Mr. Petuna ended. This is just a compliance issue, so that we make sure that if this thing is going to kick off, and there's a lot of if here, and I'm serious about that, because when you talk about these monies and where the money is coming from, and I don't want to be a doom prophet here. This might just be, as quite rightly said by Mr. Petuna, a talk show. But I'm concerned about that. Chair, there are two issues which I want to raise here. One, there's a reference to an Annex 2 on page 3, letter from the Western Cape Department of Human Settlements. Refuse an application for purchase of land given national financial situation. What is that about? And I would love to have read that letter, please. Then, Chair, also going further down on that same page, having perused documentation submitted by HD, it's clear that the funding requirements for the provision of bulk service in national loan, as the completion of the document amounted to over 400 million rand. And I actually look at the recommendation also there. So again, Chair, I don't want us to end up in a situation that where we put people out there on a hype that this thing is going to happen, whilst we even not quite sure when we're going to get the funding. And being honest with you, where the government have funding for this project, So Chair, I will end with this by just probably agree with Mr. Petuna. At this moment, it's just a compliance item. And we're only ticking the box that we want to say that we are part of the process. But that in itself doesn't mean that we might end up getting these type of projects. Thank you very much. Moenie vergeet is dit onlik in die kous asseblief man.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mayor. Tamzu, do you want to translate that latter part of the Mayor with the only in the coast?
No, I can't interpret that one. It's a bit.
I'll be putting it to the talks.
Okay, no, thanks, Councillor Skusana. Skusana, you're the last person so that we can go to the recommendation.
Thanks, Chair. I don't have a problem if this area is going to be part of the recommendation, but I need to understand, Chair, who's honoring this report? Whose report is this? I've asked this question. I didn't receive an answer.
Okay, thanks. Director, Mayor, I'm not sure is it the new end or the old end?
No, my apologies, Chairperson, it's an old end.
Thank you, number one. Councillor, Manager Petuna, can you attend to this question? Who's honoring this report? Is this Marlene's boys report or is our report? Thank you.
Oh, it's our report, Chairperson. It's not Director Marlene's report. Sorry for that. That's just a typo.
Sabotage, okay, so fine.
Thank you very much, colleagues. Mayor, is this a new or the old end?
Ndoda, sorry man, ek het dan nou my hand afgesak man. Hoekom gaan hy weer op? Laat ek hom maar weer sak om het.
Okay, number one. Colleagues, thank you very much, man. I think let's go to the recommendation, committee members.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
No, thank you very much, man. Yeah, colleagues, the 7 point, the next item, which is 7.6, it is a duplication it's a duplication item. It's the item which we have dealt with it on 7.1. You know, I think that on that score, colleagues, that concludes. If there is no other issues, that concludes our meeting. You know, and if there is no other issues which councillors might want to raise, you know, I am going to be closing the meeting now, colleagues. I think allow me to first thank my committee members, thank all councillors, thank all managers and directors who have really honored this meeting, and thank our interpreter for assisting us during difficult times, Mr. Fumazonke. Colleagues, I really thank you very much. We had a very successful meeting. And as the chair of this portfolio, we have taken note of all the concerns raised by the councillors. We are going to be sitting down with my department and just to fine-tune some of the concerns which colleagues have raised into this meeting. And on that score, that really concludes our meeting. Thank you very much, all. This meeting is officially adjourned. Thank you all. Till we meet again.
Thanks, Mayor, Mr. Dwinnes and Mr. Petuna. Can I see you guys urgently?